Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Tamim. Today we got a jam-packed video. We're going to be completely stripping out the interior to remove the gas tank. Stay tuned. You're probably wondering why the car is torn apart and the trunk is sitting like that. Well, let's take a trip back in time to see exactly what really happened to the car that led us to this point. I started to notice a weird noise coming from the trunk of the car. We had just replaced the trunk battery and I figured that, okay, maybe the trunk battery is a little loose. After inspecting the trunk, we noticed that, okay, it's not the battery, but what's that noise coming from? I started to notice that the noise would go away when the fuel tank was full, and it started to make noise when the fuel tank was at 75% capacity. So what had ended up happening was one of the baffles inside the fuel tank came loose and actually chipped off, not from the weld, but past the weld, and the aluminum sheet broke, and we couldn't fix it because it was a gas tank, and welding inside a gas tank with all the fumes is extremely dangerous. Either way, we would have to remove the gas tank. So what we ended up doing was considering the fact that, okay, maybe welding the gas tank might be an option, but it would take too long and it would be too cost consuming. So we ended up buying a new gas tank.
So, how did we get the top to be in this service position?
So when you open the top, you open this trunk only.
So,
Once the trunk is open, then you put the key, the hard key or the hard key into the lock
key into the lock.
and go 11 o'clock, and then you can open it with this. See here?
Ah, okay.
Okay, it's 11 o'clock,
Mm-hmm.
and you open it, pull it up. It stays open, stays nicely, but I just supported it just in case.
Why are we doing all of this?
We are gonna take the cover off,
The interior cover and
the trunk interior cover, in order to get to the tank, remove the fuel pressure gauge, and see what's going on.
So with that in mind, we moved forward and took out all the trim inside the trunk. It was super easy. There were a couple screws holding down a few parts of it. Screw it out and everything clips right out.
carpeted panels.
There are screws here, here, there, and also those plastic holders.
Right.
So once you remove all those, then you can easily remove it.
Okay.
There's still one more in the very back part. I need to remove it. Take off. You see, I want to see inside the tank and see what's going on. This. See. See this cover, if we can take it off, if we can take off this cover, the tank is right there, and that's all what we need.
With that being said, Dad and I made our way to the cabin and started to take out all the trim inside the cabin. Now, enabled to remove the interior trim of the car, you see the side bolsterings right here. You just simply clip them off. They come off super easy, and then you go ahead and make your way to where these little trunk cubbies are. The panels, they literally just clip off. Simple. And then you go ahead with a screwdriver. You can use a hand tool, you can use an electrical, and there are two little screws over there. Once those are removed, there are two inside it that you take out. There is a screw holding this panel. You can see we took it out already, but it's located right here. Once that panel is out, it's easier to access the other screw holding the panel behind it, where you would clip the pseudo seat belts on. Now there are two holes right here for screws, and also down here holding it against the frame. You can see Dad's using a screwdriver to take them out. Here I'm trying to take out the last two screws, and then once these are removed, go on and use the same size to take off those two screws over there and take out that panel. Now that that's done, it should be easy to lift up these panels once you've removed all the screws. They should be able to be pushed aside right over there. You can't take them out completely. There is a wire holding them all together.
Put it straight, yeah.
Now that that's done, we are taking out essentially the speaker system in place, but this is also releasing the cover, the shield covering the gas tank. There are a ton of screws, there's endless amounts of screws, and able to access them, we have to take off this panel. And able to do that, you remove the aluminum piece I was just holding.
The top, we were able to fold this roof down and able to remove this piece over here. Now the top, so we can open up the roll bar. And what we're doing is we're trying to remove this piece. And
Over here, we're trying to access a screw, which is located right in that hole over there in the center of the screen. Dad over here has successfully taken it out, but once that screw is removed, and all these screws that you see in a row are removed, the speaker system should be able to come off easily. In addition to that, we're removing the final few bolts. Those were hidden underneath the roll bar. And once those are removed, there are a few other bolts that we will be removing.
there's 3 of them. So we remove these two, which holds this in place right here. And then this part is in here. And there was a clip holding it in this hole.
Now with all of that being removed, we can now move forward to removing the shield covering the gas tank. And you can see Dad over here is taking his time, which you do need to take your time when removing this. It's a huge piece and it's pretty heavy, so it was a two-man job for us to get it out. You can wiggle it out, you can shake it out, but you need 2 people, one on each side, to successfully lift it up without bending anything, and that took us a good 2 to 3 hours to do. This time lapse that you're seeing is a shortened time lapse of 16 minutes, but once we got all that work done, it was well worth it. We were finally able to access the gas tank. With everything removed, you could see the gas tank is fully exposed over here. After everything was removed, we had to take out the fuel pump. We used two long pieces of metal and able to twist out the fuel pump or the fuel leveler, as you can see over here. And then we went ahead and Dad was pretty much looking inside the gas tank to see what was wrong. He didn't know it at the time, but we were really looking for one of the baffles that was broken off, and it took him a little bit of time to find it. He ended up getting a phone with a microscope camera and put it in through the opening we created and looked around for it, and he ended up finding it.
Plate here. This is broken.
Is it fixable?
No, it is not, but we ended up replacing the gas tank, and that was it. In the next video, I will be installing a reverse camera. If you liked the video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.